Referees, what's the most outrageous thing a parent has ever screamed at you during a kid's game? I was 16, reffing a Saturday morning baseball league for 10-year-olds at the community park. The sun was low, the field smelled of cut grass, and I was trying to keep the game moving while a handful of parents chatted on the sidelines. I'd called a close play at third base, safe in my judgment, and the batter's mom, a woman I'd seen only a few times before, shot up from her folding chair like a spring. "You're blind." That was clearly out. "My son never gets a fair shake because you're always favoring the other team," she shouted, her voice cutting through the cheerful chatter of the kids. I took a breath, kept my eyes on the runners and said, "Ma'am, I made the call based on what I saw. If you have a concern, you can talk to me after the inning." She wasn't having it. She stormed toward the diamond, her sneakers kicking up dust, and planted herself right in front of me, blocking the pitcher's mound. "You're a kid. You don't know the rules. I'm going to get you fired. My husband knows the league president. He'll make sure you never ref again." She waved her phone in the air, as if she already had a complaint drafted. The players froze, bats halfway through swings, eyes darting between the shouting woman and me. A few parents shifted uncomfortably, but no one stepped forward. I felt my heart pound, not from fear but from the sudden weight of being the sole adult responsible for keeping the game fair. I lowered my voice, trying to stay calm. "If you continue to interfere with the game, I'll have to ask you to leave the field. That's not a threat. It's league rule." She laughed, a harsh short sound. "You can't eject me. You're just a kid. I'm a paying customer here." I glanced at the scoreboard, then at the two teams waiting for the next pitch. I pulled the whistle from my pocket, something I'd only ever used for practice, and blew a sharp, clear note. "Ma'am, you're ejected from the game for unsportsmanlike conduct. Please collect your belongings and exit the field." Her face went from fury to disbelief, then to a flash of panic as she realized the other parents were now watching. She glanced at her husband, who had risen from his seat and was now standing a few feet away, arms crossed. He didn't move to defend her. Instead, he gave me a small apologetic nod. She muttered something under her breath, grabbed her bag and trudged toward the parking lot, muttering about kids these days and unfair treatment. As she disappeared behind the chain link fence, the tension on the field eased. The pitcher nodded at me, the batter stepped back into the box, and the game resumed. After the final out, I packed up my gear and headed to the concession stand for a water. The league president, a retired coach named Mr. Hale, intercepted me with a smile. "You handled that well," he said. "Most adults would have yelled back or let it slide. You kept your composure and followed the protocol." I shrugged, feeling the adrenaline drain. I didn't want the kids to learn that shouting solves anything. They deserve a fair game, not a sideshow. Mr. Hale nodded. "Exactly. And remember, the parents are watching how we react just as much as the kids are watching the play." Later that evening, I got a text from an unknown number. It was the mom's husband. "My wife apologizes for her behavior. She's embarrassed and understands she crossed a line. Thank you for staying professional." I replied that I appreciated the message and hoped the rest of the season would be peaceful for everyone. Walking home under the orange-tinged sky, I thought about how easy it is to let anger take over when we feel our child is being wronged. The lesson I took away, and that I hope the parents also took, is that respect isn't earned by volume. It's earned by staying calm, listening and upholding the rules, even when the crowd tries to drown them out. In the end, the game belongs to the kids, and it's our job to make sure they can play it without the adults turning it into a spectacle.